Hello everyone and welcome to West Ham Transfer Rumours Show. I've got the pink book ready to go. It's full of West Ham related transfer rumours, full of names that I can't pronounce. Half of them I've never heard of either. So this is going to be a fun episode, but don't worry, I know one or two of them quite well, especially this guy here. But unfortunately, it's Darren Randolph. But I put all the links in the description to the player profiles over on the Transfer Market website. The fantastic scouting tool used by the MLS presidents, especially when looking for world-class Italians whose contracts are running out. But enough about that, and on to the transfer rumours that are linked to West Ham United. Starting with the Reims striker, Hugo Ekitike. I warned you. I think I've done that one all right though. Anyway, 19-year-old striker for Reims. It's a bit of a breakthrough season for him in the French division. Got a handful of goals and just a handful of appearances as well. And of course, Newcastle United. He's been linked to Newcastle United. Supposedly they want around 30 million for him. There's lots of different reports around this player. The Barbosa one, when we did it a week or two ago, the one thing I liked about it, there was consistency between the reporting as well. This one is just all over the place. There's 3 or 4 different reports in regards to West Ham and Newcastle. But what it does do, it reminds me of Wesley Fofana. Do you remember Wesley? Of course you remember Wesley Fofana. He plays for Leicester. You might have forgotten about him though. He's been injured forever. But he'd only had like half a season when Leicester were linked to him. West Ham were linked to him as well. And it seemed that we bottled it a little bit with that, whoa, not enough evidence on him. And it seems like Hugo's got the same sort of thing about him, that he's got a little bit of the X factor so far. Some people describing him as a new Mbappe, despite the fact that Mbappe is only 23 years old. They're trying to find a new version of him already. But like I said, some reports have him linked at 30 million, that's their asking price. Others suggest that West Ham have bid 15 million and Newcastle are waiting to make their move. Others suggest that West Ham have offered him a loan deal. Yes, a loan move. I think you could just do that with every player West Ham have ever interested in. Just say it's a loan move and you'll be fine. Rumour, tick. But one thing that seems to be quite consistent among the reports is that Reims want a sell-on clause. That they're looking to protect themselves. So if he does go on to make it and do good things and big things, and the expectation would be that he would eventually leave Newcastle United or West Ham United, that they can cash in a little bit. Can't say I believe the rumours too much. I do believe that we're in for a striker. It fits the profile, I will say that. Someone that's young, someone that perhaps wouldn't cost an arm and a leg, but would be a chunky fee. You know what I mean? Like I've always said, I think it'd be a loan move, or someone around the £15 million mark maybe for the striker. And like, while some reports suggest it's 30 million they're looking for, others do suggest that it's 15 million that the bidding process has started with. But Newcastle United are in the frame too. Now moving on to the centre back situation. Malang Sarr at Chelsea. He went to Chelsea last season, I think. I can't remember. But anyway, he's gone to Chelsea. Stayed there. A lot of people thought he might have gone out on loan in the summer, but he remained there. He's had a few games for them this season. He's looked alright. I'm trying to think who I watched him against, and he looked alright as on the left of a centre back 3. It was a Premier League fixture anyway, I know that. He's looked okay. He's left-sided centre back, left-footed as well, which is important. Available for loan possibly. I think it depends on if Chelsea can get in at least one defender, because obviously at the minute Azpilicueta's covering wing back, not very well, but he's covering wing back. So he's been used as a centre back under Tuchel. So if Chelsea can get in at least one of those right-sided or left-sided players, it would allow Azpilicueta to perhaps fit back in centre back area and allow Sarr to go out on loan. So maybe one I wouldn't dismiss. I think obviously we've had a little bit of business with Chelsea in the summer of Kurt Zouma, and if this one was to happen, I'd be quite happy with it actually. I think this would be perfect for West Ham, this kind of deal. Getting in somebody that is a decent ability player, of course he is. Like I said, he's not had loads of opportunities at Chelsea, but he's held in high regards prior to the move. I think they just snapped him up because he was available and he would be good in a couple of seasons' time, so they're getting him while they could. So him on loan from Chelsea, yes for me. Do I think it'll happen? Not really. From one loan move to another, and this one is Diallo of PSG. We're being linked to him, another left-sided centre-back. There's a bit of a theme here, but to be fair, I think they're hitting the right spot. I think the left-sided centre-back is probably a bit of a priority for David Moyes, but we're being linked to Diallo on loan from PSG as well. But I can't say too much about him. Can't say I watched him too much. This guy, Benoit. I don't know why I'm squinting. It's my own handwriting. Is it Badiashile? A Monaco centre back. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Let's call him Benoit. I'm probably even pronouncing that right. Benoit, Monaco centre-back, we're being linked to him as well as Newcastle United. There's a bit of a problem with him. He's out injured for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Now, Newcastle have been trying to get Sven Botman from Lille. They bid around £39-40 million for him, but it doesn't look like Lille's going to play ball in this window. He's going to wait until the summer before they sell Botman. So Newcastle are essentially moving on to other centre-back targets. And so I can see us and Newcastle being linked to many centre-backs at the same time. It makes sense though. We're going to be in the market for the same players. We're looking for a centre-back that could perhaps challenge Ogbonna, maybe be third choice at West Ham. Newcastle are looking for someone to come straight into their starting 11. I think it's going to be a similar calibre of player. The difference is the cheque they're willing to write against. I don't think we're going to be writing anything above 15 million, whereas I think Newcastle are willing to pay what it takes to get a top centre-back in. I can't say too much about him, but I just found it interesting. He's out injured for the next 2-3 weeks. The source on this, though, is Fabrizio Romano is the one that reporting this one, so there is at least a good source behind this as well. Now, moving on to one player I have definitely heard of, is Filip Kostic. Frankfurt. You can play anywhere on the left wing, left back. Only got 17 months to go on his contract there, so he's available for 9 million. However, I'm dismissing this one. I just can't see us being interested in Kostic at the minute, which is a damn fine player. Got an absolute wonderful whip of a cross on him as well. Someone I quite like from the Bundesliga. But a move to West Ham, can't really see it, can I? Anyway, before I go any further on, if you want to keep up to date with the latest going on in the January transfer window, whether it's West Ham United or any other club, or keep up to date with the African nations as it's going on, you need the One Football app. The link is in the description below and the pinned comments of this video, and it's completely free. So get it downloaded to your phone. It says, "Oi, who's your favourite club?" You say West Ham United. When you click on the club badge, it brings all the aggregated news straight to your feed. So keep up to date with who's who and what's going on. And Benoit, that's on there. You can have a little read of him. If you want to know more about the players, you can of course find the club. So you find Monaco, you find Benoit himself, you click on him, gives you a little breakdown of his stats, tells you his age, his height, his appearances for the season, so on and so forth. It's a fantastic place to start for getting a snapshot stats of the players we are linked with as well. Links in description below. Speaking of the African nations, Benrahma didn't get off to a great start, did he? Algeria, one of the heavy favourites for the competition for obvious reasons, started on the bench. Feghouli started ahead of him. Our old Feghouli, he started ahead of Benrahma. He came on about the 82nd minute, maybe 0-0 they were against Sierra Leone. He came on and he missed an absolute sitter, to be honest with you. It got put on a plate for him about 10 yards out from goal, pretty central, cut back to him on his right foot as well, and he just scuffed it wide. It was a horrible miss from Benrahma. So not a good start from Benrahma or Algeria in the African Nations Cup. But anyway, back to transfer rumours. Got distracted there. And we're being linked to another centre-back, from this time from Swansea, for just 4 million. 21-year-old Ben Cabango. I've seen him a few times and he's looked alright when I've seen them. I don't mind watching Swansea, particularly under Russell Martin. They play some good football. He's got them playing silky stuff at the moment, Russell Martin. They've got no money to spend. As far as I'm aware, Swansea don't really have any money. So Martin can't bring in his own players. There's not much wiggle room for him. They've just lost the Man United player. What's his name? Ethan Laird? Him? Is that his name? Ethan Laird? He's just... he was on loan at Swansea. He's now on loan at Bournemouth, so he's just moved to Bournemouth essentially. So that's a big loss for them. We're being linked to their centre back as well, Cabango, 21 years old. He broke through a couple of seasons ago, so he's been a regular in the Swansea defence as well. So it's not like he's inexperienced. He's got about 70 appearances, which is pretty decent for a 21-year-old, I think. Good standard of football in the Championship as well. Ball playing football in the Championship, I think that's also important. The way that Swansea play football, I think, is important. Can he make the step up? Don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? It's hard to gauge because obviously the level he's up against in the Championship is different. It's a bit like Waddle of Nottingham Forest or Dickey at QPR. Those other centre backs being linked with. Will they make the step up? We're unsure, but I reckon if I was betting right now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Championship centre back that we bring in. That's no information or anything. It's just a geo prediction going by how much money I reckon we've got to spend, and also the type of centre-back. I did a video earlier today about sort of Moyes' wish list and my wish list, speaking about Aaron Hickey, who had been linked with through Express employee last night. X said that we're taking a look at him, which I hope is true, and I hope we make a move for him. But so I did that, but since then Moyes has done his press conference ahead of tomorrow's game against Norwich City, and in that he was speaking about a centre-back, and his choice of words was interesting. He said a bit of cover. He was looking for cover for centre-back, which would imply we're not going after a Kurt Zouma type that comes straight into the starting 11. It would imply that perhaps it's someone like Waddle, Dickey or Cabango that comes in, can play, might make the step up. If he doesn't, we can sell him, recoup most of the outlay as well. I think it'll be a championship defender that we go for. Just my prediction anyway. I think in the January transfer window, you need to keep risk to a minimum. I know people say Thomas Souček, I'm aware of that. But Jared Bowen, Jesse Lingard, sometimes when we bring in players, Jordan Hugo didn't work out, of course, but I would imagine Moyes is more inclined to go towards a domestic signing so that it lowers the risk. I think the settling in period is probably lesser, the risk is lesser. So that's what I'm expecting. A centre back for the Championship. Ben, perhaps. I think Waddle is probably a little bit higher up, but we shall wait and see. Anyway, Darren Randolph was went from nothing to on his way to Aston Villa very quickly, and just as quick as it was on, the move was off again. Villa, by the sounds of it, are looking to get in cover for Emi Martinez, and Darren Randolph was tipped to be going there on loan. Now that move appears to be off for whatever reason, but it also appears that West Ham are sort of keen to move Darren Randolph on because his wages are what they consider quite high for a third choice goalkeeper. I'd imagine they are, to be fair. We're never going to see him play, are we? And I think Dean Martin is more than an adequate third choice goalkeeper. But perhaps more interestingly is Anang's now back at the club. Is it a case of West Ham are looking at Anang thinking he's ready for third choice keeper at West Ham? He could be the under 23 keeper for the rest of the season. That means we don't need Dan Randolph anymore. Get his wages off the book. Also somebody that's registered in the Europa League squad. We won't need Dan Randolph in the Europa League squad, so potentially frees up a space there as well for any new signings. So I would expect Dan Randolph to leave the club by the end of the window. Southampton, if they hadn't signed Willie Caballero, I wouldn't be surprised if Randolph would have went to a club like the Saints actually. So we'll wait and see. More to come on that one. I wouldn't be surprised the Villa deal's not quite dead and buried yet. I think they probably just got other priorities with Coutinho. It's still not quite done, signed and announced yet, although it's done. Also Lucas Dean as well, so I think they're probably just focusing on the main priorities before we're looking at the Dan Randolph one again. But at the minute, not much to report too much. Now, another centre back we're linked with, we've been linked with him in the past as well. Naif Aguerd. It looks like Aguero, but a D with it instead of an O, so Aguerd. We'll go with that. Aguerd. Plays for Rennes, centre back. We were linked with him in the summer quite a bit as well, actually. So it's not an unknown name to West Ham fans, not an unknown name to David Moyes, but I've still not seen him play, so can't comment too much. His link to his player profiles in the description. You want to go check him out yourself, but not much I can tell you about him. Someone else we're being linked to that I don't really believe, a bit like the Kostic one, which is Golovin of Monaco. 25-year-old Russian attacking midfielder. Could have went to Chelsea, didn't. He chose Monaco instead of Chelsea. When I've seen him, which is probably a handful of times a season for the last 5 seasons, one of those types of players, he looks alright, doesn't he? Whenever he plays for Russia, he looks alright for them as well. So can play centre midfield as well as attack midfield. His numbers aren't lighting up the French division, but I don't watch French football. That's the one league I've always said I just struggle to get into it. I've tried. German football I can watch. I can sit down and watch Bundesliga football easy, right? I don't need to persuade myself, nothing. Put it on, I'm in. Spain is hit and miss. Italy's hit and miss, although I've watched a bit more of Italian football in the last couple of months than I have in the last couple of years for whatever reason. Jose Mourinho factor probably. I probably watch more Roma than any other Italian side at the minute. French football, I just can't do it. I try. I don't know why. I try and watch it. I need to pay more attention because it seems that West Ham are heavily invested in this French scouting thing, which I'll tell you in a second. I'll go on to in a minute. Anyway, Golovin, I don't really believe it. So I'm moving on quickly. Lee Buchanan, the Derby County left back, we're being linked to him again by a Derby County newspaper. Possibly important. We've always suggested that if we are going to find stuff out, it's going to come from the other side of the deal. Lee Buchanan, we've been linked to him in the past. X again has said that we're interested in him and Jason Knight of Derby. As a football fan, not a West Ham fan, as a football fan, I hope that if we do sign a Derby player, whether it's Buchanan or Jason Knight, I love Jason Knight, but I love to have Jason Knight at West Ham. I hope we buy them and lend them back to Derby, because I hope they stay up. 2 fingers to the EFL if they do. So I'm much behind it. Now, while I close the rumours, that's the pink book done. A couple of other things. First of all, I did a video earlier. Aaron Hickey, we love him at West Ham. It'll be on your screen in just a minute. But the second thing is, a lot of French-based players, and I wouldn't be too quick to dismiss them. While I've just said that we'd expect us to look around the domestic side of things first and foremost, we've obviously got this. I can't get over this recruitment of George Santos, handpicked by Rob Newman. Obviously, Rob Newman's come to the club. He's gone and handpicked George Santos, who pinched him from Marseille. There's got to be something in that. He has to come. I think it's a fair assumption that Santos is going to rock up with a pretty good knowledge of French football and the players and the centre-backs and whatnot of French football. So when we are linked to all these French-based players, I'm not going to dismiss them too much, because for the reasons I've just given, there must be something in it. Anyway, there's your West Ham transfer rumours. It's day 11 of the transfer window. When we're speaking to David Moyes earlier, we're speaking in press conference, he's sort of insinuated that there's nothing close at all, really. There's not much to talk about or get too excited about. However, he's repeated that money is available if they can find the right players. Were they in today's show? Don't know. If you've heard of any of these players that I'm not, please drop your comments below. I'll be popping back later on this evening to have a little read. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got the Norwich City game, so we'll have the build up an hour and 5 minutes for a kick-off, whatever time that is. Don't know what time kick-off is tomorrow. 7:45 or 8, it's one of the two. 8:15. I'm all over the shop. Anyway, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and like I said, all the player profiles to those I've mentioned is in the description below. Enjoy.